Raise your hand if as a kid it was worse to be told that you disappointed your parents than to have them be mad at you. Interesting how that's worked out. We've all been conditioned by our parents, teachers, friends to do whatever we can at all costs to avoid both letting others down and feeling the feelings we get if we do. We run, hide, become yes people, and avoid conflict, asserting ourselves and setting boundaries, all in the name of protecting against others' disappointment. Whew. No wonder we're all burnt out people pleasers. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Kira Wackett, your host of the Untethering Shame podcast and active participant in this collaborative journey to shame resilience. Today I want to talk about disappointment and where as a society we've gotten our priorities around it all wrong. We're always worried about the idea of disappointing people. We worry about letting people down or leaving them thinking less of us. What does that mean about us? Our value, our success, our place in the world? Disappointment is a primary fuel source of shame. The belief we have to be something more, better, less, or smaller to meet the standards of the world around us. And when we let the fear of disappointing others guide the choices that we do or don't make and the way we show up in the world, we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves to the performance version of us, trying to please everyone and offend no one. But the idea of disappointing someone is nothing to fear or to shy away from. First, because it's an experience that can't be avoided, so it becomes wasted energy trying to mitigate the risk of exposing yourself to an inevitable experience. Second, because the experience of disappointment, regardless of which end you're on, doesn't mean anything is wrong with you or the other person. It simply means you're misaligned in some capacity. So what do I mean by this? To be disappointed in someone, they or you had to have done or not done something that goes against what the other person expected or hoped. These expectations and hopes are rooted in the individual's wants, values, agenda, and priorities, and might not be shared with the other party. Perhaps you were disappointed on your birthday when your partner didn't throw you a surprise party like you'd been hoping for. Perhaps your parents or caregivers were disappointed in you because you lied to them. Maybe you stayed out past curfew or decided to go into a career that they didn't approve of. Perhaps your friend is disappointed because you didn't come out to dinner this past weekend and she's really missed seeing you. None of these experiences mean the disappointee, which I'm pretty sure I made up, is a bad person or did something objectively wrong. It doesn't mean that they don't love you or care about you or that they're not capable. It means they acted in a way that didn't align with the other party's wants, priorities, or values. You wanted the surprise party. Your partner didn't think to do it or to see it as a priority or want for you. You have every right to be sad. And that doesn't mean your partner loves you any less, doesn't care about you, or didn't put thought into your birthday. It means that what you wanted and what they did looked different. So let's turn this back to ourselves and the way in which we have, will, or could disappoint someone and reframe the way that we're engaging with that feeling. When someone doesn't get what they had hoped, wanted, or believed in, they're entitled to their own response. And in many cases, that response is disappointment. They might be disappointed that you said no to plans they were really excited about. They might be disappointed you were unable to get a project done in the timeline they had hoped. They might be disappointed you're ending your marriage of X years when you have kids at home that you should really think about. They could be disappointed that you're taking a different, harder career path than they wanted for you. They might be disappointed about who you voted for, the way that you identify, or the beliefs that you hold. On the other side of things, there is understandably a letdown. People get to be sad, mad, hurt, frustrated, disappointed. That's okay. And that's not yours to own. Their feelings don't get to supersede you making the choices that are right for you or being the person that you are. Their feelings don't get to overshadow your own. Their feelings don't get to define you as a person. They are having a reaction to an experience, behavior, circumstance, or situation. It's not about you as a person. We are worth far more than one or even a few series of actions, and you aren't a disappointment. You are not unworthy because you did something to upset someone. And if you have people in your life that see it that way, then let's begin to think about exit strategies and assertive training work to help you break away from these toxic and power-sucking relationships. I am no stranger to the fear of disappointing people. I used to want, probably more than anything, to be liked by everyone. I never wanted to let anyone down, which used to cause its own issues, including trying to be in multiple places at once because I didn't want to say no to anyone. But over time, I realized I had lost myself in this chase. I was trying so hard to avoid disappointing people, which was inevitably never going to work, that I stopped even considering what I wanted or needed. Now, these past few years, I've worked really hard to get clear on who I am as a person and what I believe in. What do I want to bring into this world? And who do I want to be while I'm here? Can I trust that my intention is to be a good person? Can I let go of the need to appease everyone and trust that I'm worth more than a collection of disappointments? Can I see that people get to be upset without it meaning something about me? And most importantly, can I learn to tolerate the distress both I and the other person feel when disappointment enters the room? My mom was disappointed we made a decision not to baptize Everly. A former employer was disappointed when I left that job to pursue my own business. Clients, friends, colleagues were upset when we moved across the country. Our family was upset when we didn't travel across the country during a global pandemic for get-togethers, weddings, and other celebrations. A client of mine was recently upset when I told them I wasn't able to make their new schedule work with mine, and we had to talk about terminating our time together. All of these situations were hard. In fact, they sucked. It's not easy having people push back against what you believe or see their own agenda as superior to yours. It's not easy to let go of the pressure we feel that we owe everyone an explanation for the choices we make, which, newsflash, you don't. It's not easy to be okay with people being upset with you, especially when they're upset with the story they've created in their head, or merely their shame has created in their head that may not have anything to do with what you said or did. But the more I separate myself from these situations, the easier it gets to make space for myself and the choices I do and don't make, as well as the responses of others. I completely understand in every example why the other party or parties were disappointed. In many cases, I would have been too. And when I can see it from a more distant perspective, I'm able to create space for others to be upset and to respect that experience while having space for my own as well. Remember, they get to feel that way. And that doesn't have anything to do with what I take on or what I try to fix or change. That's not for me. I have a joke with one of my clients where we say, don't pick up that ball. This is not a game I want to play, and it's okay to see the ball, feel tempted by the ball, and walk past it. So now it's your turn. How has it served you to prioritize others' approval over your own? Where might disappointment be inevitable, especially when it comes to living a life rooted in meaning and intention? What do you need to feel supported by yourself or others to help you let go of that fear and stop picking up that ball? Who might you be if you walked away? Now, I'd love to hear from you anything and everything that came up during this, whether you're thinking about your own disappointment towards other people, when you experience people being disappointed at you, something that came up in these reflections. So make sure that you fill out the comments, answer the poll, send me a voice memo, whatever works best for you so that we can connect and I can continue to support you in this work. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. I truly appreciate you taking the time to listen, and I hope you found it valuable. Now, if you found this episode insightful or gave you something to take you to that next level, I encourage you to subscribe, leave a review, hit that 5-star button, and of course, please share this episode with someone you think could benefit from hearing it. Now, if you are ready to take that next step in your own shame resilience journey, make sure that you click the link in the show notes to download my free handout, 5 things shame resilient people do every day and 3 things they don't. And if you're looking for more ways to connect, you'll find links to my website and YouTube channel below, as well as a link to set up a discovery call to go over any questions that you have about program offerings or next steps in your shame resilience journey. Thank you for tuning in today. And remember, change takes time, but every step counts. So stay the course, stay hopeful, and stay committed to your well-being. We'll be back with more insightful discussions to support you on your journey. Until then, take care, and we'll catch you next episode.